you know, guys, I don't think that you really quite grasp the power that you hold. And we have to realize, as gamers, social media and Twitter have given us this wonderful ability to create angry mobs at the drop of a hat, which is really fucking entertaining. Like, every time you go on Twitter, there's an angry mob about something, and it is entertaining, but you do have to realize that after a while, it creates damage. It's just like Donald Trump as our president. It was funny at first, and then we realized it was going to have repercussions, and then we started seeing the damage it was doing, and then he shut down the fucking government, and he put people in serious, dire financial straits to the point that some people committed damn suicide. And we realized sometimes it ain't no joke. Now, I'm not trying to say that we hold quite that same power, but I don't know. We've done some pretty flabbergasting things, like we got the entire Mass Effect series canceled, all over minor visual glitches, facial animations that just weren't up to par. Yeah, I understand that those things in a multi-million-dollar game are a little, irksome, but they're also going to be fixed, and they're also not real big detractors from the overall experience. You have to look at things and weigh them for what they are, not blow them wildly out of proportion. But we do that, and it's because so many people don't even play these games. What's happened recently is a handful of people will buy these games, and they'll stream them, they'll talk about them, or they'll review them, and then people will watch these gameplay footage, they'll listen to the reviews, they'll listen to the general consensus, and then they will go and start talking about it themselves and agreeing with what they've heard without really investigating it too much. Now, you're going to say, but I investigated it. Well, I'm not talking about you, asshole. Sit the fuck down. You have to understand, when all these people are talking about how bad Anthem is, and then you sit down and play the game and realize it's actually really, really fun, and in some cases, if you like that kind of game, it's amazing. So you have to realize that a bunch of these people just could not have played this game. That, or a lot of people just have really, really shitty lives and they have to take it out on something, and so they played a game and they manifested all their problems into the game. I don't know. I'm not a therapist. Maybe you should see one. But there is definitely a lot of evidence that when you see these people talking about Mass Effect Andromeda, when you see these people talking about Anthem, which are just two of the best examples I can think of recently, they haven't played the damn game. They've watched other people play it, and they've agreed with it. And you have to realize that you can't just watch a game. I grew up watching my older cousin play games, and I had a lot of fun doing that. But the game is always way more enjoyable to play yourself, because we all play games differently. And it just has a different feeling watching a game versus playing it. Games are interactive. They're not passive like a movie. You can watch a game, but you'll never have the same experience as if you've actually played the damn thing. But for whatever reason, that's the culture we live in, where people enjoy watching the game more than actually playing it. But I think this is because we live in a culture of attention whores, where you're more interested in what you have to say about something than what you're actually going to be talking about. Which might make no sense, but that's really kind of the truth of the situation. People are really concerned with what they're going to have to say, but they don't really care about the subject at hand. That's why so many people just get pissed off at people who are protesting. Like, I really believe, and I am very anti-Israel. First and foremost, I think they are a horrible country, not because they're Jewish, but because they become the new Nazis. They're literally occupying Palestine illegally, and they're committing horrible atrocities to these people, no different than what the Nazis did to their people years ago. They have this never again attitude, but it's never us again. You don't matter, you're not included. It's a small club, and the Palestinians are not invited. They're not part of that club. And I can make cute jokes about it, but it's really sad when these people march into parts of Palestine and steal from people, kidnap people, shoot people dead, and then drop bombs on them. Those are issues that actually matter. But we think with our power that we need to go online and bash these games. Let me point out something to you. If you don't like a game, it doesn't matter. It's not worth talking about. If you find a game that you think could be good, but just isn't quite there yet, bashing the game will not help the game, you, or anybody else. It is a fruitless venture that might get you hits, but you know what? It's just like fucking everybody in sight. It might be fun for a while, but you're going to get hit with the wrong STD eventually, and that ain't no fun. You have to start doing things with a little more caution, but most of all, things that matter, not just anything in sight. If you find a game that's really promising but it's not quite there, you don't want to go bashing it, because that's actually going to detract other people from buying it. And while you might want to ward people off from investing in it right away, you have to understand the repercussions of that action. If the game does not sell well, it will not get the continued support, and it will not be able to be improved. If you're completely honest about it, you'll be like, hey guys, I really think this game is a diamond in the rough. It's not perfected, and it's got its problems, but there's something really cool here. And I think it's worth checking out even in its current state. Because I think there's something here that a lot of people are going to like about it. It's not for everyone, but people are going to enjoy this. It's just something really unique, and it just has so much effort and heart put into it. You know, that's not what people go about these days. They're like, this game is horrible, the facial animations are horrible, they've ruined Mass Effect, it's garbage, I never want to play another Mass Effect game again. Well, guess what? You won't for a long fucking time, or ever, since they've canceled the damn series. Do we not understand what we're doing? It's counterproductive, people. You know, yeah, a lot of people bitched about Wildlands, and we got lucky. Ubisoft sticks by most of their products. They don't give up. You know, they delivered an amazing Watch Dogs 2 after a subpar original Watch Dogs. But we might not see a Watch Dogs 3 because nobody paid attention to the second one, because everybody was basing their opinions on the first game, which was actually pretty enjoyable, even if it was repetitive. These are the things we have to realize. We don't understand what we're doing with our power, much like Donald Trump doesn't understand what he's doing as president. He's wielding great power with such irresponsibility that he's creating such misfortune for so many people. Now, it's not quite the same in the gaming industry, but it could be. There are people who work for Visceral Games who are out of a job, who were just fired. They were making a game that was going to sell well regardless of what anybody said about it. It was a Star Wars game. Battlefront 2 sold well. This one would have sold just as well. You know, it didn't sell as well as Battlefront 1, but they still made money off of it. And since they already sunk an investment into the game, what they should have done was just release it and not put a hefty marketing campaign into it. You know, it could have just been a surprise runaway hit that way, but they don't think about that. They think it's wiser to just throw away their money. But that's what we've done with our wild, irresponsible use of power. And I know it sounds like really over-serious, and again, there are more serious matters that really deserve our attention.
All right, good to go.
But I think if I bring this to your attention and you realize how dramatic I'm making it is how dramatic you've made it, you might go, oh, shit, we might need to shut the fuck up for a while on this stuff. Like, and I'm not trying to be that asshole just going, shut the fuck up. But there are times when I really just want to say, shut the fuck up. So you don't like a game, so it's not what you thought it was going to be. So the fuck what? I've played so many games that reviewers have bashed, and I've gone like, wow, this game's awesome. And you know, they've made me feel that doubt before I played it. Like, I felt that doubt with Anthem, and then I played it, and I'm like, no, this is the game I thought it was going to be. This is awesome, and so much fun. And I fucking hate that critics do that. Like, I played No Man's Sky when it first came out, and I loved it. I haven't even touched it since the update, just because I played the fuck out of it when it originally came out. And there are so many other games that I have to play. And admittedly, it's just not the kind of game that I soak myself into. It was really different and unique for a while, and then I got kind of tired of it. But just to see the immense work that's gone into it to make it even better. You know, all the nitpicks that people had about the game wouldn't have made me continue to play it any longer. I put 90 hours into the game and went, that's enough for me. I need to put my life elsewhere. I need to move on, you know. I need to grow up. Try something new. And that's what a lot of you need to do. Grow up, move on, try something new. Wouldn't it be a better use of your time, instead of going, this game sucks, to go find a game that you actually like and talk about that and get people, instead of trying to sway people away from the game, which is just petty and stupid, go, hey, this game is really cool, a lot of people aren't talking about it, and I think you should check it out because I really loved it. You might get to see support for a game that you really like take off, and you might get to see something happen down the line. Like, most people are in this for monetary gain. Most people want tons of followers and hits, and while that's cool to be an influencer like that, you have to stop caring about it. And I stopped caring about it a long time ago. I had a lot of hits and I had a decent following when I was working for Classic Game Room, and then I realized I don't really give too much shits about this because I'm not doing work I care about. I'm doing work that I have to conform to and compromise myself in, so I get these followers and hits. I'm not doing anything worthwhile with these people, so at the end of the day, I didn't care about all those followers. You know, it was cool that they liked what I made, and I'm appreciative of that, but I'm way more appreciative of supporters and people who follow me now and people who watch me, even though it's in a lot smaller numbers. I'm way more grateful for those people who are like digging what I'm doing now, because I'm digging what I'm doing now. I'm having so much fun doing what I'm doing now. And most of all, I totally believe in everything I'm saying. I am so passionate about the things I'm working on now. And that's because I realized, you know, you have to have something worthwhile to say. If you want to create stuff, you can't just create to create. You can't just create to get attention and because you want to be out in the forefront. You have to have something worthwhile to say. And eventually, even if people don't listen to you in the beginning, you might go up and win the fucking Oscar for making a fish sex movie. And that is not a knock on Guillermo del Toro. I fucking love The Shape of Water. And when I was watching that, I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Nobody else is going to get this but me. And then everybody loved it. And then it won Best Picture. And I was like, wow. Look what happens when people actually go like, hey, you know, you might not get this, but this is, I love this. And I have to tell you how much I love this. And then you see the good it can do. And you see that people respond to it. And you're just like, that's awesome. And then you see the opposite of that with Mass Effect Andromeda, where people, instead of really thinking about it or even really paying attention to the game, they just get angry and bitter and lash out of hatred. And yes, bonding over common hatred is easy. But it doesn't last like bonding over love and passion. And that's what gaming is. And that's what we should aspire to do. And that's what you should aspire to do if you're creating anything, whether it's a game, a video, anything. You should be trying to, first and foremost, have fun doing what you're doing. That's really important. Secondly, you should be trying to say something meaningful to you, because if it means the world to you, there's somebody else out there it's going to mean the world to as well. And that's really cool, and that's where you connect on. Don't just say things because you see other people agreeing about it. That doesn't mean anything. Say the stuff that means something to you, and then see the 2, the 3, the 4, the 20, the 100, the dozen, the thousands of people that actually feel those same things too. That's the magic. That's what's special, and that's what we should be looking for. Because that's what empowers us, and that's what empowers them. Because if you have a really niche or off-the-wall thought, and then a bunch of people hear it and they're like, wow, I agree with that. That's my thought too. That's a special moment. But don't just agree with people to agree with them. Think for yourself. Because then when you actually agree with somebody, it's really special. Just like this has been really special, guys. And it's been special because it was for us. And I have to say it. I love you guys. And girls, I love you all. And until another one, later days.